I will set things up real quick. Sorry about But I will say it's very good to see all of you. So lovely to see like yeah all the nations coming together, and it's been with GSP a few years. It's great to see some familiar faces. For those of you who don't know, Abuama was my fearless GSP small team leader when I went in person in 2019. And then I also saw Shemaya. He was also part of my GSPX small group last year. So it's great to see some of you. So let me just share my screen real quick. I'll start up here. So if you received the workbook and you clicked on a link, it should have brought you to this online version, or sorry, this this link on Google Drive, and this is what the workbook looks like, or all of our documents. But if you want to use the interactive features, it's really important that you download and save the workbook onto your own device as a copy first. So if you're working on a computer, what you want to do is click these three dots on the top right corner, and then there'll be a button that says download. So you want to click on that, and it'll either save to somewhere like your downloads folder on your computer, or you can pick a place where you can save it. And then after you have saved that workbook onto your device, you'll want to open it using a software that can open PDFs. So the one I'm using is the Adobe PDF reader. It's called Adobe Acrobat Reader. You can use any other software as well. The most important thing is that you can open it and that you can save it. Because if you're with the interactive workbook, you can put your notes on it. But it's important that you're able to save it, because otherwise your notes will be lost unless you save it. So this is what the workbook looks like. There's several sections through it. So after the introduction sections, you'll find a table of contents. And in here, you'll kind of see what's in each part of the workbook. To make it easier for you to navigate throughout the workbook, you can click on the name of a section and it'll bring you to where that section is. So for example, if I click on the expectations part, it'll jump to the expectations section of the workbook. And you can see in here what Xianyue was talking about earlier with the outline of the program and the expectations. And so during this section, you can find kind of the schedule for the program, and as well as an outline of the 5 traits of the disciple maker, which is the theme of GSPX and what the topics are on. Here you'll find a weekly schedule, and you'll see what the session is for each week, as well as the Bible study section that you're looking at. And one thing here is you can type in notes to say when you're meeting. So for example, if you're meeting Thursday at 3:30 p.m. with your small team, you can record when your small team meeting is, when your one-on-one meeting is, and any other notes you have in this section so you can help yourself remember. When you're done with any section and you want to go back to the table of contents, at the end of each page, you'll see a little text that says table of contents. When you click on it, it'll jump you back here to the table of contents page, and you can go back to any section and jump around and navigate using that. So for each of the sessions each week, it has a similar format and structure. So you have an area where you can type in your notes from your session. So you can type in, whatever it is. I'm just, typing random letters. And if you want to start a new paragraph, you can hit the enter key or the return key on your keyboard, and you can start a new paragraph in here. And the nice thing about the interactive notebook is that you won't really run out of space, because let's say you're typing a lot of notes and you're reaching, this is a lot of space, but let's say you're reaching the end of your page. If you keep going, then it'll scroll. So it'll just keep going. And what you can do is you can scroll up and down to see all of your notes. So you won't ever run out of space in a text box. So you can just keep going. And then there's the start it, stop it, keep it sections for each week as you're doing the session notes from the live sessions. The next section is your midweek video. So during the middle of the week, there will be a training video for you to watch. If you're having the PDF on a device, you can click this link here that says click here, and that'll pop you open to the midweek video for that week. You can watch it and then you can type in your notes here. And usually there's a resource after that where you can, that'll, I guess, supplement the video, and there will be some application questions for you to think about. So that is the same structure for each week. There'll be a place for your session notes, and then there will be a place for your midweek videos. Once you're near the end of your program, as Layla was mentioning earlier, there will be kind of a review for the 5 traits of the disciple maker. And then the video that Layla was talking about from Randy about being a learner is here. So you can click the link here to watch Randy's video. There's also notes here from Randy from his video speaking. And then below that will be an area for you to type in your notes and applications from the video. If you're looking for the Bible study document, you can access it here on the workbook, or the link to it is also on that link with the workbook that Laylan sent out on Thursday. So here is our links to the workbook, sorry, to the Bible study. So the first 2 are links to the Bible study themselves. There's the interactive version, as well as the one that you can print. So you can click on those and download them if you haven't already. If you would like to print off a copy of the text of 1 Peter in one of these 3 translations, they are on the bottom of the Bible studies, but you can also print them off here. So if you click on them, it'll bring you to just a document that has 1 Peter with all the headings removed, and it's an ESV, NIV, and NLT. And you can print these off if you like a paper copy. And as well, the videos from Doug are here under Bible study resources. So Doug, someone from our Bibles, or part of the navigators, has put out these Bible study guides you guys can watch. There are 2 videos that you can watch that'll help you familiarize yourself with the process of the Bible study. Next section after that is the devotion section. So we're reading this book called The Practice of the Presence of God, and you can get a copy of the book by clicking, if you don't have it yet, by clicking this little box here. It says The Practice of the Presence of God PDF. It'll bring you to a OneDrive link where, again, you can download this and save it on your device so you can read it through it on your own pace. And the devotions also have their own sections. It has the table of contents that you can click and jump to. So the staff from a previous year different staff members wrote these devotions. You can read through them, and there are parts where you can type in your notes for reflections and applications. And to make it easier to navigate, you can also click this devotion table of contents. This will bring you back to the table of contents, but just for the devotion section. And if you wanted to go back to the main table of contents, on this page on the bottom, there's the main table of contents section. And that'll bring you back to the table of contents, the workbook. Okay? So there are kind of 2 different table of contents, one for the devotions, just so that it's a bit easier to navigate. The last thing on the workbook after the devotions are some additional resources. So these are resources that you can use to kind of help you as you continue your journey with God. And then on the last page is a contact page where you can put in the contact information for those on your team if you like, or make other notes. So this is the workbook in a nutshell. I'll move on to the Bible study in a moment, but are there any questions about the workbook and how to use it for now? I know there's a lot of information, but if you forget, I think one of the links that Leyland sent out is a kind of a user guide. So it has some of the same thing that I've talked about. So you can look through this user guide to give yourself kind of a refresher on how to use the workbook. And yeah, just interrupt me if you have any questions. I see something in the chat. Oh, thanks. If you would like to print off your workbook, and there's also a print version of it available, where the links are removed and the workbook is kind of in black and white, so you can save ink if you'd like. So it's the exact same as the normal workbook, except there are no links on there and it's all in black and white. And so in order to access the links, if you are on the print version, there's a document called the workbook links. And what you can do is on your device, you can either click on these links to open them, or you can type them into the address bar of your computer to open the midweek video links and the Bible study links if you decide to print off your workbook.
Jeff, I have a quick question on that. Yes. Do I need to send them the separate PDF for this, the workbook links?
Yes, it is a different document.
Okay, so I'll send that.
Yeah, thanks, Leyland. So with the Bible study document, because it's a separate document, once you download it, the features are very similar to the workbook. You have a table of contents where you can click on it to jump through the different sections. So in the beginning, there's kind of a guide on how to do the inductive Bible study method. And on the bottom of each page, you can click table of contents to go back to the table of contents for the Bible study. For each week, there will be places where you can type in your notes like before. So you can make your notes here and record your notes here. And so that'll be for each of the weeks. And after week 7, there's a section called scripture memory. So this will be kind of all the memory verses that you'll be doing for the program. And you can, it's all in one place. If you want to practice it, you can check the references and study from there. The next section is some additional resources that you can use as you continue to study the Bible. You can use it while you're doing your 1 Peter Bible study. It's very useful. So there's some notes on how to do word studies and verse analysis. After this section, it'll be the text of 1 Peter. So if you're looking for 1 Peter in one of the 3 translations, it's all on the bottom of this document. So the first one is ESV, and then after that, it'll be the New International Version, and after that would be the New Living Translation. So to get to those easily, you can just click on them from the table of contents, and you can jump to that section. Now, the most important thing for you when you're using the workbook that I forgot to mention earlier, and the Bible study, is let's say you're making some notes here and you've made your notes. In order to keep your notes so that you can have them again when you open it, it's very important that you save your document. That's the most important thing with the workbook. As you're making changes, click this little save icon or click file and then click save to save your work. If you do not save it and you close the document, all the notes that you made will be gone. So you need to make sure that you save it if you want it for the next time. Usually programs like Adobe Reader, it'll give you a warning before you exit saying, do you want to save any changes you made? And you probably want to hit yes if you did make changes, if you did make notes. But the good habit is just to click the save button or click file and save every so often so that your work isn't lost. Any questions about saving with the interactive features? So one other thing is the Bible study also has a print version that's in black and white. It has some of the spaces kind of condensed so that there's less pages to print, hopefully. So you can save ink or save paper. Let me think. I think the one last thing that I'll say is, yeah, let me, sorry, open this up. So if you also want, there's also going to be a guide on how you can rename yourself and annotate on Zoom. These are features we used last year, but if you want kind of a guide on how to walk through those, there's a document that you can read through and it'll help you with that as well. So all of these documents should be available through the email that Leyland sent out, or they're on the workbook itself if you're trying to access the Bible study. If you have any questions with how something works, you can feel free to ask Leyland or someone on staff, and if they don't know how to answer it, they can refer to me, and I'd be more than happy to help out with it.